Hello and welcome again to Spirit at Work. Today our guest, Robert Dejournett, has such a long title, I gotta read it. Robert is the Director of Community Relations and Diversity for Summa Foundation and Summa Western Reserve. Good to have you here, Robert.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
That's a lengthy title. I guess I want to ask right away, are your responsibilities as extensive as that title, and what do you do and how do you do it?
Well, my responsibilities for Summa Health System, which our department is the Department of Community Benefit and Diversity, and it goes across the spectrum of the system. I also have responsibilities at Summa Western Reserve Hospital, which is our for-profit physician-owned hospital, where I do community relations and diversity. I'm sort of like the liaison and the link to the community for the health system.
You know, that word diversity means different things to different people. From your perspective, what do you think the general public needs to better understand concerning this issue of diversity in the workplace?
Okay, well, diversity in the workplace, the new coin phrase is more of diversity and inclusion. So we all are different, we all come from different backgrounds, have different cultures, but the inclusion part is that we all have something to bring to the table. We all are unique in our own way. So diversity is really the uniqueness that everyone brings to the table or to whatever organization or whatever realm they're active in.
Can I follow that up with this question? As you include more and more differences of opinion, of religion, race, departmental differences, how do you lead through a lot of those differences?
Well, it's all about respect. Respect for people who are different than we are, who don't think like we do or like I do. And I like folk to respect my point of view, where I'm coming from. So in turn, I should give that respect, even if it's a difference that I might not understand.
Your mission overall in that department, what would you say? Hey, our goal or our vision or our department successful when what happens?
Well, our mission for Summa Health System is to provide the highest quality, compassionate care to our patients and customers, and also contribute to a healthier community. And the mission of the Department of Community Benefit and Diversity kind of fits with contributing to that healthier community. And that is making sure that we are a resource to everybody, no matter what their background is, what their faith belief is, that we are meeting the needs of people where they are and where they come from.
What do you most enjoy about your work?
Well, what I most enjoy about my work is just meeting people. I am a people person, and the relationships that I have established and cultivated, and the relationships and continue to build on those relationships in a positive way, and just learning more about people.
You know, some folks would be interested in how your career evolved. Do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Now that's pretty interesting, because I graduated from the University of Akron with a bachelor's degree in mass media communications, and I actually started at the hospital as a temporary employee, just trying to buy some time till I hit it big in the big leagues. Yeah. But the big leagues has been 22 and a half years at Summa Health System, where I started as a unit secretary, then I was a page operator, then I was in human resources as a secretary, and I spent probably about 8 years in human resources in the compensation area, where I wrote job descriptions and rated jobs. And then I kind of found my niche in the area of community relations and community outreach. And today I'm the director of community relations and diversity.
You're also presence, speaking of your community presence, you're also involved quite a bit in your own church. What do you do there?
Well, in my church, that's, I would call my real job, because, you know, that's what I do. I work for the Lord. That's the way I look at it. And I am the youth pastor at St. Ashworth Temple, Church of God in Christ, and also associate pastor. I'm an elder. In our denomination, elder is like the highest level that you can attain, really, in the church. So I work a lot alongside my pastor as far as helping him and to help to make sure that our church is being responsible in meeting the needs of the community.
question, knowing you've got that faith foundation, your values. How have you seen your core values evolve over the years? What are those important values that you want to call people to in this whole diversity issue?
Well, the core values, as I stated before, is really about respect. Being respectful to others, no matter how different, even in different faith beliefs, different denominations. We believe the same, but it seems like we don't believe the same because doctrine kind of separates us. But I try not to let that get in the way, because we all are people of God. The way that I look at it, we all have a spiritual side. So just really maintaining that level of respect and being responsible and being the light that I think that I've been created to be.
How do you, Robert, stay true to your own beliefs while, as you mentioned that word respect, how do you stay true or anchored in your own beliefs while respecting that others have maybe differences of opinion or diversity relating to religious doctrine?
Well, I think that the foundation that was laid for me, I believe in it, and I feel that others have that same strong foundation in what they believe in. So I just want to pretty much stick to my beliefs at the same time, being open and respectful to other beliefs, because I don't think there's one way to really believe.
When I mentioned before, I'm kind of curious, when you were in your 20s and now as you're just a little bit older, how have those values evolved? What were you like in your 20s? What was important to you? And obviously we know what's important to you now.
Well, early in my 20s, I really didn't connect with my spiritual side. So that was more of it was a spiritual side, but it wasn't a good spiritual side. Because in my 20s, I was young, rambunctious, always out and about. I was kind of with the theme of the time, what young people do, going to parties and not really being responsible, just living carelessly, vicariously, and doing whatever I thought about doing and not really thinking about the consequences of some of my actions. But as I had grown older, I started trying to settle down. I had kids, and I wanted to be a better role model for them. So those values of trustworthiness, citizenship, cooperation, that really is where I evolved to.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you very much. We're going to hear more from Robert after this break.